Hallo zusammen. It's definitely Zeit für Rammstein. Today I'm gonna react to the new Rammstein single Zeit, Time, die Zeit Singular, die Zeiten Plural, the time, the times, right? I don't know what to expect, to be honest. Maybe they play around with time signatures, or they talk about different time episodes, time periods of Germany, but they have done that in Deutschland though. And they also sort of addressed that in Radio, so we'll have to see and find out together. Let's go. To give you some information on this reaction, how it's gonna work. I'm a German, so I'm gonna give my German first initial impression on the song and the video. I'm not gonna be able to show the video or the song in this video though, because of copyright. In the past, Rammstein, respectively Rammstein's management, have been a bit picky when it came to showing their videos and their songs in other videos on YouTube, so I'm not gonna do that, but you shall not be afraid, because there's a workaround to this, and this is how it's gonna work. Around. If you have two screens, put this video on one screen and the music video on the other screen. And if you don't have two screens, just put the video on one half of the screen and my reaction on the other half of the screen, and that's gonna work as well. So without further ado, es ist Zeit. It is time. In 3, 2, 1, los. Ooh, lovely sounds. But who's that singing there? Great melody. Zeit. Knew that was coming. Oh, okay, yeah. Rewinding there. Wow, that's a very touching video, considering what's going on in the world right now. Wow. Love that choir. I'm so glad that they are a bit more symphonic this time around, because I've always loved that about Rammstein. Yeah. Great visuals there. Wow. Playing with sand and water, like time flowing. Die Zeit verrinnt. Very minimalistic, but still pretty cool. Wow. That last image there, with them getting sucked into the sand, basically, that's strong imagery right there. Strong visuals. Wow. And congratulations to everyone who was involved in making this, including the band, but also including the directors and video artists and stuff. Wow. Honestly, another great music video by Rammstein. I wondered if they could top Deutschland, but to be honest, I don't think it's toppable necessarily in that realm, but this is very touching. Also, like I said before, considering what is going on in the world. Wow, that was loud, but cool. That was Zeit by Rammstein, and now I'm gonna talk a bit about it. First of all, I love that they are a bit more symphonic in this one. I've always loved that about Rammstein, and especially the album Reise Reise, which is my favorite Rammstein album. I like the more symphonic approach when Rammstein are a bit more, monumental sounding, if that makes sense, right? But this with the choir, that really got me. The farmer seeing his daughter die and being taken away by death, basically. And in a sense, what I love about these lyrics here, jeder kennt den perfekten Moment. Individual, very personal memories that we have saved in our minds, whether it's audio, something visual, or a combination of both even. Or a scent, for instance, a taste. I guess at the end of the day, being a human being, speaking a bit more philosophical here, basically, because it is a quite philosophical topic and a quite philosophical song, which is another thing that I really dig about this one, is that, once again, coming back to jeder kennt den perfekten Moment, perceiving the world in the first place, perceiving something around you. Even though we all live in the here and now, we of course also go back in time when we have nostalgic memories, that we think about, or maybe plans for the future. And also the basic physical, psychological, and philosophical aspect that even though we are constantly, surrounded by time and time ticking away, we can't do anything about that, really. And it heavily affects us in some way or another. When we are sad, we're mourning, and that is okay. That is necessary to, be able to cope with the grief and the sadness. But I think what's also important and interesting is what comes after that grieving, mourning. I fear that some people may be, caught in that mourning state way longer than it's healthy, and other people find a good way to cope with that and to sort of, come to terms with grief and loss. And that also dictates and determines how we approach Zeit, our future, perceptions of things, of people, assumptions of the future. I wonder who sang those high background vocals though. Is it Till just transposed a bit higher, or is it someone else? I don't know. What I do know is that it sounded cool. And it sounded very Rammstein unlike, but in a good way. And this is also something that I really appreciate about this song. It managed to surprise me. I wouldn't call it a half ballad type of song necessarily. It lacks vocally harsh moments, but is that a bad thing? No, it isn't, because I don't think it would have fit here. Because Zeit, talking about Zeit, loss, and everything that's connotated to Zeit. And that is interesting from a linguistic perspective, basically. When we think of Zeit, the concept of time passing, like time being a river, time being sand that runs through our fingers, you know, that we can't grasp. That is basically what this song also and the video also portrayed, I think, very well. Also, this song basically plays with a lot of German phrases and common expressions, but more about that in another video about the song's lyrics. Stay tuned for that. Also, when the first chorus hit, you may have seen me basically saying the same thing that Till was singing, gefangen so im Fluss der Zeit. And im Fluss der Zeit is in the river of time, right? So it's similar in English anyway, but in German, der Fluss der Zeit simply is a common metaphor. And so I knew that that was coming from the rhyme scheme, right? And from what he said before. That doesn't mean that the song was predictable, don't get me wrong. It was very creative, lyrically as well. The chorus goes, Zeit, bitte bleib stehen. Time, please stand still. Stop. Don't continue. Because the lyrical eye urges time as if it were like a person, basically, and it directly addresses that person, the time. And that's also very interesting when you think about it, how to illustrate or visualize time. And they have a great solution here with those very mythical beings, basically. Seeing them in this video, however, they also have a correlation to death, the Grim Reaper. And some of you might argue, well, maybe time is death. Also, the chorus continues and emphasizes on that will, that strong determination of the lyrical eye to address time as a being, to really stop and stand still and make the moment last. Because the chorus goes, das soll immer so weitergehen. That shall always continue this way. But of course, that only applies to situations in which you are happy and in which positive things happen, right? That can express a certain helplessness of the lyrical eye and not being able to cope with time passing by, rhyme. But it can also, or it also does, highlight the ambiguity of time as a concept. We sort of want to try to, get a hand on it and basically be able to control time, even though we know that we can't. We have mechanisms in our lives as human beings in this society to capture moments in time by taking photographs, for instance. But it's not quite the essence of the moment that we capture. That's impossible. And maybe, even though that sounds sad, I know, maybe that also makes life worth living and enjoying the moment and being aware of the moment. So in a way, Zeit by Rammstein also definitely underlines the Carpe Diem aspect. Nutze den Tag. Use the day. Make use of the day. Make good use of the day, right? Including being aware of yourself and your own being, existence in the world right now, right here, watching this video, liking it, and subscribing to the channel if you enjoyed it. I could say a lot more about this song, but I'm not gonna do that in this video, as I've said before. I'm gonna do that in another video soon. In that other upcoming video, I'm gonna be talking about the song's lyrics, what they are all about. Also for people learning German with my videos, because I have made over 700 videos about the German language and culture, including many, many Rammstein videos. So if you like Rammstein, if you like the German language, and if you want to learn more about it, this channel might be a goldmine for you. Hint, hint. click here for my Rammstein playlist and other support options, videos and whatnot. So, thanks for watching everyone. I'm your Vlog Dave. Tschüss und bis zum nächsten Mal.